I really do appreciate you guys for just supporting me. You know, there are going to be times where I do things that you probably won't approve of, but just know that, like, I have a right heart and I mean well, and I love you guys, and I do respect you.
The night we did our mask.
Our girl night.
Yeah, our girl night. Wasn't that fun?
I loved it. I thought it was really fun.
Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Friday, May 28th. Oh my gosh, it's Memorial Day weekend. Can you believe it? It's the end of May, almost the end of the school year. If you're a parent, can you believe you almost got through another year? And if your kid did it through online, give yourself an applause. Oh my gosh, we got through 1 year of distance learning due to this pandemic, and I can't be more proud of my kid. So I hope all of you guys have some plans for this upcoming weekend. I know I don't, but that's nothing new. All right, so we have an update on some family members that are speaking out against Josh Duggar. Yes, now the family is starting to make their feelings known about what's going on a month after his arrest. So can you believe it's been a month since he was arrested on charges of possessing and receiving CSAM, and when the bond hearing happened in early May, everyone learned just the gravity of everything that he had been involved in. There has been a lot of statements that have been made by some of the Duggars. Joy-Anna she and Austin came out and basically said that they were hoping for justice. Jill and Derek also said that they wanted justice, along with Ginger and Jeremy supporting the efforts of authorities. Jessa was more cagey, kind of a combination of what her parents said and then what some of her sisters said. So there's been some statements that have come out, and then there's been some that have just not said anything. And Deanna Duggar, who is Josh's aunt and Jim Bob's only sibling, and Amy Duggar King, his only cousin on his dad's side, actually spoke out to Today Parent and had an interview. Now, this is the first time Amy really has gone on record on a major outlet to talk about what her feelings are. She has been wrapped up into a non-disclosure agreement between, I believe, her and the network, or maybe the Duggars, and it makes it so that she really can't say a dang thing. But she and her mom are not allowing that to stop them from speaking out, and they had a lot of things to say about what is going on. In an interview with Today, she says that she was shocked when she found out that Josh had been arrested and charged with the CSAM, and that she really is worried about his children. She said that who wouldn't worry about that? My heart goes out to all these innocent, sweet victims. It breaks my heart. I really hope justice is served. She also said this: I will just say that whatever you do in the darkness comes out in the light. If you're going to look at such disgusting and sickening images, justice has to be served. So Josh, some of the stuff that he looked at was listed as some of the worst ever by the Department of Homeland Security. They said top 5. The agent Gerald Faulkner basically said that in the over 1,000 different investigations he's done, this was the top 5 worst content he has ever seen anyone view and download and possess. So that was a shock to the family. And if you remember, I told you that I was in the court hearing and I gave you sort of Amy's reaction back then. And this is what she told Today. To look at my little guy who is 19 months old, my heart and my brain cannot comprehend it. It blows my mind. It's heartbreaking and disgusting and evil. It's so evil. I want nothing to do with it. She is talking about the fact that in court, they allege that some of the content that he had downloaded included an 18-month-old toddler. Being that's the same age as her son, Dax, I'm sure that in and of itself hit home. She went on to say that she quoted a Bible verse in regards to the allegations against Josh, and she said, there's a Bible verse that says it's better to hang a millstone around your head and jump into the ocean than to hurt one of those precious little ones. So basically, you should get rid of your life and then ever touch and harm a child. there was some questions, and I think I've told you on this channel that, they didn't know. I said Amy didn't know, the girls didn't know. They had no clue about anything. They had been completely misled about all of this in regards to what was out there. I had spoken to multiple people about this connected to the Duggars. And she says, given the totality of everything now, she wished she would have known, and she probably would have never appeared on the show. This is what she said. I wish I would have known about what was happening. I did not know anything about the whole Josh situation at the first time. We were told that he went to camp. I definitely didn't know. So she had no clue about what they had done to his sisters, what he had done to his sisters. He had no clue about any of those allegations. She literally found out with the world while she was like trying on her wedding dress. And sadly, Jim Bob Duggar and Michelle never told their niece, and then had her filming consistently with Josh being sort of the golden child and Amy being labeled as the rebel. In response to how they portrayed her as the rebel on the show, she said that it was hurtful to her mental health. She said, growing up, I never had a police record. I've never done drugs. I've never done anything that would label me as wild or crazy, as a wild and crazy cousin. It played with my emotions, and then I realized I'm fine. So they were trying to portray her as something that she wasn't, even though she was just doing her life. She had a normal childhood. She didn't grow up as a fundamentalist. She wore bikinis. She went to high school. She listened to rock music. She wasn't doing anything wrong, and they really wanted to play up that she was the bad guy and Josh was the good guy. And there's so many interactions she has with Josh in those early episodes of 19 Kids and Counting, where he is in many ways degrading her and making him seem like he's more holy than her.
They're really fun people.
Why are you guys choosing not to kiss in front of them?
Just to honor my Uncle Jim Bob and all that kind of stuff, just to, be more respectful to the family and everything.
Anna and I chose to go through a courtship process, and then, basically hands off until engagement, and then we had only held hands. But I think there's a certain line that we both have drawn, and it's a mutual line of commitment to say we're going to save certain things for marriage. How long have you guys?
So imagine this is what you've been portrayed to in the media. He's been portrayed as a good guy. You're the bad one. And for years, you can't escape that stereotype. It's not easy. So she says that as a result of everything that's come out with her family, she's definitely had to set boundaries and really cut herself off from negativity around her. And she said that Jill and her are very close. She said, Jill and I are still very close. She's such a sweet person, and she's growing into her own. It always called her my hippie chick. And ever since she was 7 or 8 years old, and to see her live her life freeing and still godly, but not being restrained, is a really, really beautiful thing to see. She has my full support. Me and Jill actually were they celebrated Grandma Mary's 80th birthday. So if you remember, Grandma Mary actually passed away a couple years ago. She drowned, and an accidental drowning. And so she would have had her 80th birthday a couple days ago. Amy actually sent me a photograph and a message via text message and let me know that Jill and Derek actually stopped by at her store, brought them ice cream, and they all sat around and talked and reminisced about Grandma, and that it was just a really nice day to spend together, to remember and honor their grandmother. And Jill shared some photos of her trying on clothes and a photo with her aunt. It's very clear that Jill and Amy and Deanna are really relying on each other. So if there's any positivity in this respect that comes out, is that it's strengthened a bond and they've found family in one another. Now, Amy didn't stop about talking about Josh. She also spoke out against the belief system of the Institute and Basic Life Principles, and spoke about how she's really frustrated with the fact that women are not valued and they don't have a lot of options. So she said, in the ultra conservative way certain families are raised, I don't necessarily feel like it's fair. She noted that girls are pushed to become mothers and at the expense of their dreams and ambitions. She said, I think there should be schooling. There should have been schooling and the ability to do other things besides being a mom and having babies. God gives you freedom, and that's why there's so many different people, jobs, and lifestyles. She has spoken out in the past about how restrained women are in this world, and wants her cousins in an indirect way to have more opportunities. And she also spoke out about her mother and said, my mom was very open with her growing up. She said she was definitely not as strict at all and really helped me figure out who I was, what I was okay with and what I'm not. And that was great. And I could listen to the radio. I could wear bathing suits and bikinis. I could hang out with guys. My mom was like, I want you to learn self-control on your own. Deanna actually said that the rebellious characterization that they gave her on the show was actually unfair. She said, Amy's a great person and she loves deeply. She has a very big heart, and that's the type of person my daughter is, and I'm very proud of her. She said that in regards to the allegations against Josh, she says, it breaks my heart. It really does. I pray for the family, and that's all I can do. And Amy are doing their best to move forward. They're speaking out, saying, Amy says it's evil. They need to have justice. This is really bad. Whatever you do in the darkness will come out into light. And she had no clue. And a couple days before everything dropped, we talked about this tweet that said, I had a dream last night that it was a beautiful, sunny, normal day, and then all of a sudden the sky went black and there was a big tornado that appeared on the highway close by and was destroying everything in its path. It felt so real. And she said she had no clue. She said, people have asked me this. I didn't know anything like this was coming, but I had the craziest dream that a tornado was coming to town. It was literally just tearing through the town. I did not understand it at all. Now that's her subconscious telling her and preparing her for the next phase. So Amy and Deanna just want people to realize that it's an unfair characteristic to claim that Amy is a rebel when she's literally never had any legal issues, and her cousin Josh, who degraded her a lot, and the network, who made her appear to be the bad one, consistently used her as fodder for the network, labeling her the bad guy when the real bad guy was Josh. Tell me what your thoughts are about all of this in the comments below. Bye, guys.